Yeah, subscribe to the channel. Maxim was the only child in the family of a large businessman. Of course, since childhood, he received everything the best. He was a considerate boy and knew how to make a profit from everything. Therefore, he spent his parents' money not on entertainment, fashion clothes, and girls in clubs, but on his own education. Thus, he managed to finish a prestigious university abroad and open his own business in Russia. Over time, much faster than his father expected, the guy became financially independent. The parents were only proud of such a wonderful son. Maxim was also satisfied with his own life. Now there was time for entertainment. The boy's appearance was not offended, so the girls hung out in crowds on him, especially when they saw his expensive car or noticed the golden watch. Yes, Maxim could now afford such a thing, why not? At first, the boy was surprised by the behavior of the girls. Does not one of them value his own dignity? Then he decided to use the money as a bait. And in the end, he was so disappointed in the female field that he barely fell into depression. "Dad, are they really all like that?" he asked, sitting with his father in the bar. "Was his mother like that before?" "No, son, of course not. At one time, I was doing a tricky trick with your mother to prove her love for me. Not my money." The father smiled. "Yes, and what trick?" "Well, I said that the business was falling apart, and I was in debt." The man laughed. I should have seen Nadia's face. She was in tears. I thought that everything would be said now that our paths have separated. But no, this fool ran with her gold to put in the pawn shop. I barely managed to stop. Oh, when she really found out, I was afraid for my life, I'll tell you honestly. But it was worth it. I knew that the right person was with me. A loving wife. And you should try too. What if it works out? His father shook his shoulders. "I think I'll leave it for the extreme case." His son replied. Maxim went to the club that same evening. He was only, so he thought that he could still visit such institutions. Of course, he was not distracted by women. He was approached by acquaintances and almost schoolgirls and women who looked much older than his mother. Maxim could barely contain his own disappointment. He refused all kinds of offers. He approached the bar, where a very nice girl was sitting. "Hello," said Maxim. "Hello," said the girl, glancing at him. "Do you want a drink?" asked the boy. I already pointed at the girl with a real cocktail in front of her. "Wonderful. And can I order you one?" "Of course you can, but I think I don't want it anymore." She shook her shoulders. This was an unusual answer. Maxim rolled up his sleeves, wearing gold watches, but this did not impress the girl. "You are different," he smiled. "Many say so." Again, she shook her shoulders. "If you don't want to drink, maybe we'll dance?" the guy suggested. "You can dance," the girl smiled. Maxim met Marina, spent some time with her, and began to wait for her to invite him to join. This is a logical move of all his previous acquaintances. But Marina was not going to do anything like that. She danced with him, then looked at her modest watch and said that it was time for her to get ready. "Wait, do you want to go for a ride around the city at night?" Maxim decided to take the initiative in his own hands. He liked Marina. She at least did not hang on him. "Listen, it's too late. If you want, we can meet later," the girl replied. "Yes, I wanted." The guy smiled. "Will you give me your number?" Marina left her number and left the club. A quieter place to spend the rest of the evening alone with himself. He could, of course, capture some girl from the club with him, treat her in a restaurant, and then go with her to his luxurious apartments. But today he did not want this. He hoped that Marina was actually the same as she was this evening. And if so, then he can have serious plans for her. Even if you forget that they met in the club, and from such acquaintances, as a rule, nothing practical comes out of the experience of Maxim himself. The young people met the next day. Maxim came to the meeting place on his expensive car, but Marina didn't bring her eyebrows. It seemed to her that it was the same to get into the bus as in the S-Class car. Maxim was happy to note this about himself. "Well, where are we going?" asked the guy. "Maybe we'll feed ducks on the lake?" asked the girl. Maxim even slowed down from surprise. Hey, look at the road, the girl exclaimed. Are you serious? Maxim raised his eyebrows. Now I don't know anymore. Are you afraid of ducks? Why did you react like that? No, but I thought maybe to the restaurant, to the bar, to the club, but to feed ducks on the lake. You are probably used to the fact that only money is required from you. Marina smiled down. You know, I'm not like that. I want to just be comfortable with a person. I know you only 2 days, but I'm ready to marry you, said Maxim. The girl laughed in response. Did he really find the one? Maxim and Marina met for several months. During all this time, the girl did not demand gifts, no trips to restaurants, no shopping. It was strange and surprising for Maxim. He decided not to rush the relationship with Marina. Further, they did not have a quick kiss for the farewell. He just waited and enjoyed the fact that such a wonderful girl met him. Marina had a girlfriend. Her name was Anya. Marina used to share everything with her. Of course, the news about the guy almost immediately reached Anya. The girl invited her friend to the cafe to tell her more about Maxim. Hi. The girls hugged each other at the entrance. Anya, I'll tell you this now. Marina was intrigued with a smile. Let's go faster. The friends were at the table, made an order, and only then Marina began her story about the mysterious guy. Remember, I told you that I think I have a new boyfriend? She asked. I remember, answered Anya. And what is he? He turns out to be rich, real. Not these cheap fake products for a Rolex on hand, but in fact, gold watches, luxury car. Oh, come on, that's great. I congratulate you, smiled Anya. Yes, thank you. But you know, he's not my cup of tea. Marina answered with disappointment. How come? You said you were dating. Anna asked again. Of course we meet, Marina's eyes rolled. And how not to meet, if he has his own apartment, cars, and business at the age of. Of course I flew out of the university, but not quite an idiot. That is, you just use it? Her friend blinked. Well, don't make such a face. I'm ashamed, the girl grumbled. I don't use it at all. I didn't ask him for anything. He offered everything himself. In addition, I refuse most of his gifts. Me and my hands, in general. I think that he will not suffer much financially from my small caprices. I don't know Marina, Anna said with doubt, and how he treats you. I think that I am the center of his universe, said Marina proudly. Marina, you can't do that, the girl shook her head. Tell him the truth. Yeah, of course. The friend looked at her like not a very shiny person. Anya, I'm telling you, he just doesn't have money. I'm not going to ruin it or something. I don't even plan to marry him. Although if he offers, I will not refuse, of course. But let him at least buy a new phone, a few new clothes. My opinion, you know, I'm against it, said Anya. She saw that her friend was offended by her, but decided to go to the end. It's your business, of course, but you didn't think that you were abusing a person for torture with your actions. He fell in love with you, and you want a new phone and a couple of clothes from him. And what then? You won't give up if he makes you an offer? And how will you live your whole life with the unloved? Betrayals, and so on? You are a smart girl. You know that the truth always comes up. Like with your machinations of university knowledge, because of which you flew out. Marina was a couple of seconds away from her friend, but she was forced to admit that there is something in her words. The girl had a hard time breathing and ruined the coffee she ordered. Damn, okay. You're right, Marina said. I'll tell him that we're breaking up. Indeed, a new phone dress will hardly make me happy. I'm proud of you, Anna said. Marina decided not to postpone the conversation with Maxim, and the next day she called him and offered to meet. After all, it is better to say such things at a personal meeting rather than on the phone. The guy came to the appointed place, but Marina was there earlier. Maxim smiled out of the car and gave the girl a huge bouquet of roses. Wow! Marina smiled. Thank you. It's nonsense. Maxim waved his hand. What did you want to talk about? Marina bit her lip. Or maybe it's Anya with her instructions on the path of truth. Such a bouquet of roses is worth a lot, and the guy says it's nonsense. Marina can ride in oil like cheese and not work all her life. And suddenly the principle of patience will work. She will fall in love. Marina was confused. On one bowl of scales was the life of a poor life, and on the other, moral principles. The girl looked at the guy. He has such honest eyes. Kind, shining. She is probably not the only one who wanted to get some kind of material benefit from him. Marina was upset. Exactly that she is not the only one. He is so completely faithfully in the opposite sex. The fact that he sooner or later finds out that she is far from in love with him almost did not cause any doubts. The question is only how far she will go at that moment, and whether it is worth it. And what will be worse? Live years in luxury and lose your mind? Or not to go to this territory at all? All these thoughts were carried in the head of a girl with a monstrous speed. She took a deep breath and made a decision. Maxim, she smiled modestly. I see that you're a very good guy, and I like you, but, she stuttered. But you are not in my taste, sorry. We will not succeed. How? The guy's shoulders were lowered. I'm sorry I didn't tell you earlier. I thought I wasn't looking enough. The guy looked so disappointed that she decided to lie a little. She even felt sorry for him, not for herself. We can stay friends with you and go to the lake to feed ducks again. Yes, Maxim smiled. You know, you're really special. You're the first girl who didn't expect money from me, knowing that I have it. It's a pity it happened. Me too. But you will definitely meet the one that suits you. Marina tried to cheer him up. She felt the ease. Now she will not have to live with the thought that she should constantly play a certain role to make something happen. In the evening, young people spent at the lake talking about all sorts of little things. Maxim shared that he had been looking for someone like Marina all his life, who would not need his money, who would love him exactly. And the girl was glad that she listened to her friend's advice. She would not want to break his heart with her cheats. And it would happen in a while. You know, as soon as you meet that girl, bring her here. Marina smiled. Let this place be your talisman. Lake of Truth. Stupid, of course, but suddenly it will help. Yes, very stupid, the guy smiled. But I will do it. After the separation with Marina, Maxim was completely desperate. For a couple of months, he didn't go out, only for work. He ordered food with delivery to home and tried to distract himself with video games. His father tried several times to get him out, either on a family picnic or on a fishing trip. But Maxim refused to do anything until Oleg Vladimirovich, his father, personally did not come to his son. Oh, well, there's a lot of empty space here. Oleg Vladimirovich looked around at his son's apartment, in which it was already time to clean up. You lack a woman's hand, of course. I let my fingers into the growing up beard of Maxim. And you need to get yourself in order. Max, you are a businessman, but you can't show yourself as a business partner in this way. Oleg Vladimirovich noticed it harshly. Oh, Dad, Maxim grumbled. Give me some time, and everything will be the same. You know, son, I understand you. Suddenly, the father softened. It's time for you to look for a wife, and you find only one. God forgive you. But don't despair. You can never do this. It's hard to find a decent girl in a club or a bar. Where I was looking for, Maxim smiled. In the opera, in the museum. Either I'm not interested, or I'm just thirsty for money. Well, then maybe it's time to try my method suggested by Oleg Vladimirovich. Maybe. It's a perfect look. The guy was self-critical. Maxim wasn't going to look for anyone yet. He just wanted to have a rest. Whatever happens, he will try to get back what his father advised, but later. Indeed, he has a birthday in a couple of months that's years old. And even girls are not permanent, not to mention the wife and family. And it's not in vain that he studied, opened a business. Who will get it all? It's definitely worth trying, but not now. Now he just wanted to warm up under the sun in the park. Maxim did not start shaving. Took off his expensive clothes, chose the most ordinary clothes so as not to attract absolutely no attention to himself, and went to the park on a bus. He had not ridden a bus for a long time. He even forgot how it was. His trip cheered him up a little. Oddly enough, she would have started to repress ordinary people, but Maxim suddenly liked to feel like they were not in the center of attention. In a slightly uprooted mood, the guy reached the park and sat down on a free bench. Putting his face in the sun, he listened to people around him. Cars drive past the parts. His soul was filled with peace, which he had not experienced for a long time. How good it is to be an ordinary person sometimes. I'm not going, stay away. Maxim was given a female voice. The guy opened his eyes and looked for a source of sound. On the opposite road was a girl in a sports uniform, and the path was blocked by two guys. They clearly argued about something. The girl was noticeably worried and looked around in search of support. Maxim got up from the bench and went to the company of young people. "Wait, you decide right away," said one of the guys. "Let's go to the cafe, get to know each other closer." "That's exactly it. We'll just get to know each other," added the second one, smiling stupidly. Maxim then realized that these two were drunk. "I'm not going anywhere with you," said the girl. "I'm going to scream now." "Why scream? We're not doing anything yet." The first guy gave up his hands. "Hey," said Maxim. "What's going on here? Who are you, and what do you want from my girlfriend?" The guys turned around and measured Maxim's gaze. "Oh, well, I would have said right away that there is a guy, and then half-naked people run around here, and then complain." One of the men bragged. "In my opinion, normal sports clothes." Maxim, on his shoulders, said, "Guys, come on, we're going with my girlfriend, and you go where you came from." Yes, no problem," the second guy raised his hand. "Thank you for helping me out," the girl smiled modestly. "No, it's nothing," Maxim smiled too. "But you really should take your companion for a run in the park. There are few such subjects." "Yes, as soon as I appear," the girl smiled. "And you don't do sports by chance?" "Well, sometimes I go to the gym, but lately I'm too lazy." Honestly, Maxim admitted. "Oh, so maybe we'll run together in the morning?" the girl suddenly suggested. "Why not? It will clearly benefit me," Maxim smiled. "And your companion will not be against it?" "It will not be. It is not yet." "How well? As soon as we find our second halves, we will run with them," the girl laughed. "I'm Anya. And what's your name?" "I'm Maxim. And since we have met, we can do it together. I am a bearded man, but not so old." He smiled. "Good," replied Anya. "I am finishing for today. Will you write down my number? We can run in a day or two." "Yes, of course." Maxim took out a pen from his chest pocket. He did not take his phone with him on purpose. He did not want to get distracted from rest. Anya dictated him a number, and he wrote it down on his palm, which once again made the girl laugh. They began to run with a new friend. Apathy and longing for failed relationships gradually disappeared, clearing the place of extreme interest in Anna. The girl was so simple, correct, real, that she literally haunted everyone she knew before. Every day, he was eagerly waiting for Anna to meet him, to find out how her day went. How was her study? What was new at work? She was just in her last year and already worked on specialization. Maxim understood that it was her. I met him not because of money. He felt that he was also pretty to her, but decided not to tell about himself yet. After all, the sad experience gave him to know about himself. One day after the run, Maxim thought that it was time to develop their relationship and suggested to Anna to feed the ducks on the lake. "Excellent. I'm in favor." The girl was delighted. "I love animals." They went to the same place where Maxim had not told Marina about himself so long ago. To the Lake of Truth, as Marina called him. On the way they bought bread. Having fed the ducks with 2 drinks, the young people silently looked at the water surface. Anna said, "Yes," said Maxim, "but you are not as beautiful as you." Anna smiled. Her reaction said that the guy was not indifferent to her. "Thank you for the compliment. I wanted to ask you something." Maxim was confused. He didn't quite understand how to learn about sympathy. Usually girls jumped on him, and he had to point at the one who would go with him with almost a finger. And here are new relationships, new feelings, emotions. I like you. Anya made his suffering easier. I like you very much. Maybe that's what you wanted to ask? Yes, how did you understand? With a smile, Maxim asked. Anna laughed and turned her gaze to the lake. You are always looking at me. It was difficult not to understand what exactly is happening. You psychologists are all so suspicious. The guy smiled. Anna smiled. No, only I. The girl giggled. Well, in this case, the most suspicious psychologist in the world, you will honor me with a dinner with me in a restaurant. I don't even know. The girl took a concentrated look and glanced at the lost Maxim. Unbearably, she laughed. Of course I will go. Don't scare me like that, the spirit of the guy translated. I decided that you wanted to get rid of me. But you are not at all suspicious. The girl smiled and gently kissed his unbrushing cheek. But from this passing contact, Maxim had a little shiver all over his body. It burned like a knot on the agitated nerves. This is love. On Saturday, Maxim and Anna went to a restaurant. Maxim still did not intend to admit who he really was. He still played the role of a simple fisherman, which the restaurant can afford only on weekends. Anya behaved more than modestly, even was going to pay for herself. But this guy still did not allow. After the restaurant, they walked, talking about the latest novelties in the cinema. It turns out that Maxim missed a lot, and Anna decided that on the next weekend, they just had to go to the cinema, and immediately booked tickets. God, Anya, why are you doing this? Maxim was surprised. What? I booked for the 4th row. In the end, I shook Anna's shoulders. I can buy us tickets, with a smile, said Maxim. You paid for the restaurant, and tickets cost a penny. So let me feel strong and independent woman, smiled Anya. With such behavior from girls, Maxim has never encountered. He decided that next weekend and tell Anya that he can easily buy out the whole hall. So they watched the movie only together. Time went by, and the case smoothly approached Saturday. Anna was just choosing a dress that she will wear for the session when Marina called her. Hello. You are not seen at all lately, said the girl. Yes, I'm a little busy here, with a smile answered Anna. Are you studying again? Marina asked with a longing in her voice. And this too. And what else? Work? Yeah, and she is. Anna mysteriously spoke and smiled. Marina kept silent for a couple of seconds. So, girlfriend, well, tell me. The same as Anna. Wow. Why didn't you tell me right away? What's his name? Where does he work? The girl immediately asked her questions. Quiet, laughed Anna. He works in the gym, and his name is Maxim. Maxim, Marina said. Just like the rich man I told you about. Well, if your rich man wore regular shirts and rode a bus, then you should think about it, laughed Anna. No, he usually wore silk clothes. And he was driving a Mercedes, Marina answered. What a coincidence. And what is he? Romantic or angry pump handsome? Anya laughed and began to discuss what she knew about Maxim, without telling too much personal. Maxim called Anya 2 hours before the session and asked for the address where he could drive. Anya was a little surprised because she did not know that Maxim had a car. They met either on a walk or by bus. Well, it was a pleasant surprise, probably. But what was the surprise of Anna when her house was parked a luxurious Mercedes, and from it came Maxim, dressed in an expensive suit. The girl, only not understanding, clapped her eyes, watching her boyfriend with a smile go to her. Hello, said Maxim. Are you ready? Max, what does all this mean? She pointed at the car. This is my car. I should have told you earlier, but I had so many bad relationships when girls wanted only money from me. Even my last relationships probably had a material setback, although the girl was completely different, did not ask for anything, did not call for shopping. In general, I just wanted to understand if I liked you, if I could like you in the image of a simple guy without my own business. And God, the truth turned out. Anya, I love you so much. I want us to be together forever. That she is ready for anything for this. Stop. His girlfriend hit him, raising her hand. Wait a minute, I need to put this in my head. So you're a rich boy with bad relationships, decided to pretend to be an ordinary guy to find a girlfriend? Yes, I know it sounds terrible, but I was in such despair. Anya quickly put down and realized that it was exactly the same Maxim who Marina was talking about. Anna took a deep breath and shook her head. Yes, and you seem so honest to me, and Marina told you something else. No, we won't succeed. I can't meet a person whose relationship started with a lie. Sorry. Anya turned around and went home, leaving the agitated Maxim standing next to the entrance. You don't always get what you want only for money. Maxim called her, wrote, tried to make an agreement, even came, but Anya stubbornly refused to contact him, to connect his life with a lagoon. In the end, Maxim looked for Marina's number to ask her for help. Max, hi. The girl's voice was heard in the phone. Have you already talked to Anya? The guy asked right away. What? How do you know my girlfriend's name and what I'm about? Stop. Yes, I lied to her. I pretended to be poor to understand if she loves me. And she loved, and I loved. But only I was such a fool that I didn't tell her everything right away, and then continued to pretend to be an ordinary guy. And when he revealed himself, she said that he could not meet a man who had started dating a liar. Wow, only Marina could squeeze out. No, this really happens. I was shocked myself. I remembered myself as Maxim when I realized that Anna was Marina's friend. Listen, you're a good guy. I'll try to talk to her. But you know that she is such a girl who does not tolerate lies. Marina warned Marina with a smile. She knew how Anya suffered for her boyfriend. She knew that they had a fight or even broke up. But for it to be Maxim? No way. Marina could have decided that Anya had deliberately reprimanded her for her relationship with him, if she didn't know her girlfriend so well. No, Anna is not capable of such hypocrisy. Yes, I'm ready for anything. Marina, if you can help me, I will give you anything I can. Oh, I just want a new phone. Even though Maxim was sick for days, your help will be invaluable. I was joking, I said to the girl. I'll talk to Anya. Thank you. 2 weeks passed by for Maxim in a tiring wait. Neither Marina nor Anya contacted him. The guy didn't know what to think. Did anything really happen? Could Marina convince Anya that he is a normal guy? Maxim was plunged into a real depression. He met the perfect girl and pushed her away with her lie. His self-promise interrupted the phone call. Maxim immediately grabbed the phone and brought it to the kitchen. Okay. Anna immediately shouted, I forgive you, the first and only time for your lie, but only with 2 conditions. The first one is that you will never lie to me again. You will never hear it. And the second one is that you should buy Marina a phone. She sacrificed her perfect figure and gained kilos while calming me down and arranging ice cream seats. Maxim couldn't hold his breath of relief, and then a joyful laugh. Anya, I swear no lies. And we will buy a phone and a fitness membership, and we will give money for the renovation of the wardrobe. In general, anything. God, I'm so happy that you decided to forgive me. The guy sincerely said, if I didn't love you, no one would have persuaded me. And said angrily, Marina wags her hands and says that she doesn't need anything, but you don't listen to her. With a smile, Maxim answered, let's meet? Come on, we haven't been to the movies like this before. The girl answered much softer.